Going inside the toy box with Toy Story 2, so let's get cracking! Hello, all my explorers, and welcome back to Loren's Adventures Out There. And if you're new, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. My name is Loren, and I'm with Castle Capes and Clones, where we discuss everything in the Disney universe. We talk Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, The Muppets, 20th Century, Disney Plus, Hulu, ABC. If it's about Disney, we're talking about it. So if you like that kind of content, we would love it if you would subscribe to our channel, hit the bell for notifications, and do like this post, as it really does help us out. So we are continuing our series Inside the Toy Box, our chronological look at the films of Pixar Animation Studios. And today we will be talking about the first Pixar sequel, 1999's Toy Story 2. Toy Story 2 finds the Davises having a garage sale. Woody was accidentally put on the sale table and found by a greedy toy store owner who wants to refurbish Woody and sell him to a Japanese buyer. Woody discovers he was part of a show called Woody's Roundup and meets his co-stars Jessie the yodeling cowgirl, Bullseye the horse, and Stinky Pete the prospector. Buzz Lightyear and a bunch of friends go to rescue Woody, but he finds that he's become enamored with his legacy and his new friends. When Buzz finally convinces Woody to return home, Woody asks his new friends to come with him. The only thing is that one of them has other ideas. Pixar began discussing a sequel to Toy Story shortly after the first film opened. Pixar co-founder John Lasseter saw a young boy holding a Woody doll at the airport and began thinking about how he would love to give that child and all the others who love Toy Story characters a better movie than the first. So Pixar went to Disney to pitch the idea. Walt Disney Studios' Joe Roth liked the idea and wanted to do it as a direct-to-video sequel, as they had with many of their other classic films. Lasseter saw this as a challenge and thought it might be a good chance to groom more people to direct. His top choices, Andrew Stanton and Pete Docter, were already working on A Bug's Life and Monsters, Inc., respectively. So he chose Ash Brannon and Lee Unkrich to direct the film with him. On March 12, 1997, Disney and Pixar announced Toy Story 2. Brannon was the one who suggested Woody accidentally be placed at a garage sale only to be found by a collector who knew the true value. The concept of Woody as a collectible actually dates back as far as a Tin Toy Christmas that Pixar originally pitched before Toy Story became a feature film. There was a toy collector character named Al McWiggins in one of the drafts of Toy Story, who they decided would become the collector in Toy Story 2. Woody's Roundup characters were inspired by the kiddie western shows of the 40s and 50s, such as Hopalong Cassidy, Howdy Doody, and Four Feather Falls. Lasseter's wife, Nancy, insisted that they add a female character in there that would have more substance than Bo Peep, and so Jessie was born. Pixar brought some footage for Disney to watch, and Disney was pleased with what they saw. So pleased that they wanted Toy Story 2 to now be a feature film. Roth negotiated with Pixar's Steve Jobs on a deal with Pixar to produce 5 original films for Disney to use in merchandise and the parks. Toy Story 2 would not be included in those films as it was a sequel and not original. Pixar creatives were not happy with the direction of the film, and Lasseter agreed. Lasseter held a story summit with some of his brain trust, which included Andrew Stanton, Pete Docter, and Joe Ranft, amongst others. This is where they basically reworked the movie in one weekend. The problem was that they could not push back the release date of the film. So Pixar, despite it being a company that doesn't demand long hours, saw its staff working extremely hard on its own volition. So hard that many people were developing carpal tunnel syndrome, amongst other strains. One animator accidentally forgot to drive his child to daycare and left his child in the back seat of the car. Thankfully, the child was rescued, but that was the kind of strain that they were under. Also, at the same time, the film was almost entirely lost when an assistant technical director, in an attempt to clear space, accidentally entered the command to delete everything. Before they could shut it down, 90% was lost. Thankfully, one of the technical directors was working from home to take care of her child and had a backup of the film. So they only lost a couple days' work than years of the project. Randy Newman returned to score and write the music for the film. He wrote two original songs, When She Loved Me, performed by Sarah McLachlan, and Woody's Roundup, performed by Riders in the Sky. The song from Toy Story, You've Got a Friend in Me, was also reused. When She Loved Me garnered an Oscar nomination, but lost to You'll Be in My Heart from Tarzan. Box office wise, Toy Story 2 was as successful as the first Toy Story film commercially. It became 1999's highest grossing animated film, earning $245.9 million in the United States and Canada and $511.3 million worldwide, beating both Pixar's previous releases by a significant margin. It became the third highest grossing animated film of all time, behind The Lion King and Aladdin. Critically, Toy Story earned 100% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, with the critical consensus saying, the rare sequel that arguably improves on its predecessor, Toy Story uses inventive storytelling, gorgeous animation, and a talented cast to deliver another rich movie-going experience for all ages. So, what did I think of Toy Story 2? I love Toy Story 2. Toy Story 2 and Toy Story 3 are my two favorite Toy Story movies. I was very excited to see it in the theaters when it first came out because I did love the first Toy Story, and this showed me the possibilities. Um, this was a vast improvement on the first film in terms of technology, and I could see where it was going. It was still in its nascency, but you could see the differences. Even though they were the same characters and very similar, you could see how the technology was growing. Plus, this film features one of my favorite Disney characters. Like if I were to combine Disney and Pixar, Jessie would be on that list. I just love her to pieces. I love her in the films. And also, when I was at Disney California Adventure, before they started doing all of the remodeling and reimagining, I went to go visit Jessie. There were not a lot of moments or a lot of opportunities for magical moments at the park at that time. And I had the most magical time whenever I would see Jessie in the park. She would make me smile. And it just reminded me of this movie, and I just love watching this movie. So, anyway, What did you think of this film? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comments below. And if you had a good time today, we'd love it if you would subscribe to our channel if you aren't already. Hit the bell for notifications. And do like this post, as it really does help us out. Visit us on all of our socials down below, and visit our website at www.castlescapesandclones.com. Thank you so much, and we will see you later. Bye!